Yo! My name's Jamil, the Arab Mamba, and you're starting college. You don't know what to do. You're worried about how difficult it's gonna be. Let me just tell you right now, your life is over. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Relax. Relax. You're gonna make it. Alright? But what happens is everyone goes to college. They're like, I don't know how I'm gonna survive. I don't even know how I got past high school. How am I supposed to study for tests? I'm gonna give you 5 tips on what you can do to study for your exams and to hopefully help you with procrastination. Number 1, wait, before we continue, there's a couple things I want to tell you guys. First, subscribe for more content. I'm going to be making a lot of college content. Drop some video ideas down below. Some things, if you want me to discuss them, I'll make a video about them. And number 2, I want to do a Q&A. So if you have any questions about me, my life, what I do, or any more college tips you want me to answer in the Q&A, drop them in the comment section below. Let's get right into the video. Find libraries. We aren't used to, at least in high school, having so many different libraries to go and study at. In college, you will have multiple libraries or study places all around campus. Find where the study places are, ask around, ask people that are older than you, and have them tell you what the good places are to study, and do some exploring. That's half the fun, finding a good environment to study in. Number 2, this is probably the most important one. Organize a schedule and make a study regimen. When your classes begin, you're going to be given a syllabus, and it's going to be a breakdown of what's going to happen pretty much every week throughout the entire class. So you have to figure out, A, when are your classes? Put the classes and the times that they meet and the rooms that they meet on your schedule. Number 2, when are your exams? This is the most important one. What days are your exams? If you don't have those answers in the first week of class, ask your professors, because they are supposed to know when your exams are. Now, in terms of how much time you should give yourself for each class, it depends. For me, it's usually like maybe 3 days for the really easy classes, but at least 5 to 7 days for your difficult classes. And honestly, if your schedule is looking clear, start 2 weeks ahead. I promise you will not regret that. What happens is when you start early, you're able to organize what you need to do. And what do I mean by that? Before you start studying, you need to look at all the sections that you have to review, and you need to assign certain days that you're going to be reviewing each sections. For example, if you have to review 7 sections for an exam, and this is going to be a difficult exam, start maybe 7-8 days before your exam and say, okay, this day I'm going to review this chapter all the way up until 7 days. You review all 7 chapters, 1 chapter per day. And then on the last day, you can either relax or you can choose to study all of the chapters that you just reviewed the past 7 days. That way, it'll allow you to be way more organized and way less stressed. I promise you, it helps a lot. Also, find some time for office hours. So when you're planning what you're going to be doing each day, look at your class website, because usually they're supposed to. Your classes are supposed to have a website that organizes pretty much all the materials for your class. Everything you need to know for the class is usually on your class website. Find what day office hours are and go. This is personally something that I need to do more of, and whenever I do go to office hours, I do see a positive correlation of going to office hours and my test grades, but sometimes it is really difficult to go. So cherish the time that you have in office hours and really make the most of it, because it genuinely does help. And I know what some people like to do is they'll be like, oh, okay, so I'm just going to sit down and I'm going to study for 2 hours straight and then I'll be good for today. Me personally, that's not how I do it. The reason I like to set an academic goal, like I need to finish this section by today, helps me so that when I'm studying, I don't think about, oh, I just need 2 hours and I'm done. I think of it more in a way where I just need to finish this section and then I'm done. So it helps me make better progress. I have more of an academic focus as opposed to like a focus on time, because 2 hours doesn't necessarily equate to a large amount of learning. And sometimes it might even be overkill, it might be too much. Number 3, this is probably the second most important, maybe even the first most important. Organize your resources. And I'm going to be giving you resources in order of importance, in my opinion, that I think are the best to study for tests. Number 1, are you listening? Practice tests or past tests that have solutions. When you take a class, professors usually always give practice exams or exams from previous semesters with the answers. That's literally your exam, but with different types of like different worded questions, but the same topics and the same style of questions. Study those. That's your test. Sometimes I feel like that goes without saying, but not everyone knows that. Number two, homework with and without solutions, just like with exams. Your homework sort of lets you look back at how you used to think back at the problems when you first started looking at them, so that you can compare everything that you've learned from practice tests and be like, oh, this is what I did wrong in the homework, and this is why I was wrong, and it really like strengthens your foundation of knowledge. The third one is your teacher's notes or your presentation slides. This one might be more important than homework depending on how good your teacher is at presenting and at teaching and how helpful their slides are. So when your teacher gives you slides and notes, look at them, study them, because there's probably some stuff on there that you are definitely going to see on the test. Next is your own notes, the stuff that you wrote down. I think that part goes without saying. Oftentimes it might not help to look back at your own notes, because at least for me, I write down own notes for the sake of repetition, not for the sake of going back and looking at it. I mainly rely on my homework and practice tests, but some people prefer notes. Then the fifth thing is a textbook. Listen, classes, at least for a lot of STEM classes, don't usually require a textbook, and if they do, you will probably find it online, like over 90% of the time on, some of those sketchy websites. And for legal reasons, I'm not going to link them, but you can easily find those websites with your free textbooks online. But yeah, I would definitely suggest not spending your money on a textbook unless you absolutely need to, because you're in college, you're broke. Number 4, find a study group. A really important thing. When you're in class, talk to people. This requires you to be social, to actually get to know others, and you might make some cool friends along the way. If you need some help on that, I literally made an entire video about how to make friends in college. Just go watch that. I'll link it down below. Fun story. I remember I was about to take a quiz for my my general chemistry class. I think Chem 102, I mentioned it also in my other videos. And as I was about to take it, I heard someone else in the library was also about to take it. So when I heard them, I'm like, yo, want to take it together? I do not condone this if your classes do not allow that, but if people are taking things, I don't know if I'm going to keep that part in. And also, when you do find a group of people, like in your class, maybe you found them in lecture, do not be afraid to suggest group studying, because I guarantee majority of them are already thinking that anyway, but are too afraid to say something. Just say it, because I guarantee majority of them are going to be down to group study. And also, it's really important to group study, because when you're in college, you're surrounded by geniuses pretty much a lot of the time. So when you get to be in the vicinity of other geniuses, it helps you pick their brain and think like they do. And number 5, breathe. The test is not an end all be all. The exam does not determine everything that happens in your life. Your life is not going to end. Life continues as soon as the exam ends. Just get some good night rest the day before. Make sure you eat something. Do not starve yourself, because you literally need food for your brain to function. And just trust yourself. Trust that you've done the preparation, that you were well organized, that you finished all the sections you needed to, you studied with other people. Just trust yourself. That's it, man. And you're going to be good. You're going to get through college. 4 years. Doesn't matter how difficult it is. You're going to get through it. You went through 12 years of schooling. What's 4 more? I hope I don't fail. Anyway, you guys are amazing. Subscribe. If you liked the video, please subscribe. I'm going to be making some more videos like this. If you did like the video, let me know down below. Also, if you have any questions about me, about my life, about what I'm doing, about college, about anything, I can probably have another Q&A. Put some questions down below for a Q&A. Yeah. See you guys again. Whatever. I screwed it up. Peace. Shh.